103.2 Preston FM.
Keeping it local.
We're talking to Lynne Fox, who's a singer-songwriter based in Blackpool. And Lynne, you've just got a new album coming out, haven't you? Tell us a bit about that.
Hi, Paul. Yes, the album is called You. It's been produced by a producer called Martin Kershaw. And it's been a very great experience, really. We've done some great tracks on the album. And we've had on piano James Pearson, who's the resident pianist at Ronnie Scott's. I was very fortunate because I had one of the world's best drummers, Gary Husband, as any drummers will know, or follow, the drums. He's a great, great drummer who's on tour with James McLaughlin, and he's obviously had the Level 42 success back in the 80s with all those lovely hits. We've got Holly Hayhurst on bass, who is Ray Gelato's bass player, and that makes up the trio that we actually used on the album. We've got a couple of programmed tracks as well. The programmed tracks were actually done by Colin Watson, who lives in Middlesbrough, and they are slightly different tracks from the usual jazz tracks that we do. One is the single You, and the other one is a track that's called New Kid on the Block, which we're actually writing a musical around that song.
Brilliant, okay. Now, we're going to play a couple of these tracks coming up very, very soon. Now, just for the benefit of people that maybe haven't come across any of your work before, haven't been following your career quite as closely as we have, if you just give us a little bit of background as to how you actually came to this point in the first place. What have you been doing up till now?
Okay. Well, Paul, it's been a very, very long journey. I would say it's been a long haul, really. I started out really as a backing musician, playing the piano, and I used to play for all the other singers, but I found my own voice when I was about 18, 19 years old and decided that singing really was for me and playing the piano. I do play the piano on one of the tracks on the album, but I've just basically had a career of gig after gig after gig, and with one or two of jazz festivals thrown in. We also have a show called An Evening with the Gershwins and Cole Porter, which we was very lucky to have endorsed by the Cole Porter family. We're hoping with the album to actually to do one of the tracks, which I'm hoping you're going to play, Paul, on the Jules Holland show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. So we're going to play a track from the new album now. What's the first track we're going to play, and what's the story behind it?
The first track is the title track, which is a song called You, and that's been written by the legendary guitarist Martin Kershaw, who played on the Professionals theme, on all the Muppet shows, and so many, too many to actually name, really. Thousands and thousands of sessions, really. And Martin came up with this song, and I was fortunate to be the one he chose to record it, which has been great. It's a wonderful song, and it's got a wonderful meaning behind the words, the lyrics.
Right, so there we go. So that's the story behind it, and this is Lynne Fox singing You. Right, so there we go. That was You by Lynne Fox off the new album, also called You. Now, Lynne, you've actually written some songs on this album yourself, haven't you? Tell us about that.
I have. Well, most of the songs on the album have been written by a gentleman called Bob Sacker and Martin Kershaw, but we did put one of the songs on that I actually composed during the 1980s. We went through the song with Martin and with Colin Watson and decided for today's listeners it needed really a new chorus with a new feel, and we did do two mixes of the song actually, and the mix that I'm doing is obviously the Latin mix. We do have another one which is a more pop track, but obviously with doing a jazz album I decided to do the Latin version. And Far Away is a song which I created really in the 80s with holidays in mind, and to obviously try and put people in a really good mood. And Martin heard it and decided to put in the most great chorus and hook line. And originally it was called Far Away Shores. It's now called just Far Away.
Right, now just a little bit of a teaser for the listeners. We're not actually going to play that one, so if you want to hear that one, you're going to have to buy the album. Now, where can we actually get the album from, Lynne, if we want to buy it?
Well, the album can be found on CD Baby and on iTunes, and also from Active Media, which I'm sure Paul and Lucy's site will actually give details of.
Absolutely. If you look on our Best Kept Secrets website, we'll have the links directly on there, so you can just click on there and you can buy the album. Or can you buy individual tracks as well?
Yes, you can.
You can buy individual tracks, or you can download the album. Sorry, Paul. The individual title track, which can be bought. Yes. Right. Okay, so we're going to play another track from the album now. What are we going to play now?
We're actually going to play a track called "Save Your Love." This is the one that James Pearson and myself and Gary Husband are going to perform on the Jules Holland show sometime during 2013. We're not sure when, but we are scheduled at some point to do it with this particular song.
Right, so here we go. This is Lynne Fox with Save Your Love.
Hi, I'm Steve Francis, and you're listening to Best Kept Secrets with Paul and Lucy. Paul and Lucy. Ooh, I could jump off a doll's house.
So there you go. We've been talking to Lynne Fox about her new CD release, which is called You, and is available through all the normal outlets. Now, Lynne, obviously you do a lot of live singing as well, and all sorts of things going on. If people want to find out more about what you're doing, is there a website they can look at?
There is a website, yes. The website they can have a look at is www.lynne-fox.co.uk.
As you know, I'm a big fan of your Cole Porter and Gershwin's Evening. Last time we saw it, Lynne, I was so impressed. You've got such a wide variety of gorgeous costumes, and you always look so glamorous. Do you design the costumes yourself?
No, not really. Not really, Lucy. I just look round for things that I like. But thank you all the same for the compliments.
Okay, so this album's got a nice jazzy feel to it, hasn't it? What are you hoping to do next now this has come out?
Well, I'm planning some dates at Ronnie Scott's during 2013, but I always seem to be working away from my hometown. It would be nice to be recognised, really, in my own local area. Perhaps maybe some jazz festivals. Manchester area, and also of course Blackpool, where I do occasionally work, but it would be nice to also work, as I said, in my home area, and right. To people obviously that live close by, to be known more in the north too. I did recently BBC Lancs, and we had a lot of good comments and feedback with that particular show.
Now, the music on this particular album, it's sort of nice and intimate, isn't it? It's just
it is, yes.
But
yeah.
You also sing with a big band, don't you?
I do. I sing with Ian James Orchestra, who are based down south. Ian lives in Guildford, and I do the Warners big band weekends with Ian. We always have a great time doing those with some good music, and slightly obviously different from the album, although the track New Kid on the Block has got that kind of a feel to it, the big band type of feel, showy musical style.